today have been disrupted. Others who are still taking the first semester general studies examination also spoke about the impact of the protest on their exams.
I came to school and I met some persons outside the gates, and I asked what was going on. They said it was because of employment. So since then I've been outside over 3 hours. If you go close, they will send you back.
Because I cannot just pay 3,000 going and coming to come here and not learn anything while we are outside under sun, under rain. They should settle that with them.
From that day, I'm not with our athletes. We are also with our GNSS and we see something now.
First when we don't come to here inside 7:30 a.m. You know, if you have the open office, so she there outside. I come school 2 by 8. I see meet us another day. So we enter. People who are supposed to work for no way. Then they call me. I tell them say gates they locked. So not what we do today. At the photocopy, prints, and something on campus. I'm not getting my for coming. Always get with money. Where I will take go back to it. I go back. They not come back to me. So everything. I will take money now to pay transport, go back out, and I have to also get money to come back tomorrow morning.
Okay, so there's a break coming up. But I must, of course, commend the students who spoke. They want to get into school. They want to go about their academic business. And that's how it's supposed to be. I say that because I remember my school days. If I were going for lectures and something like this was happening, causing a disruption where we couldn't get into school, there's a part of me that would be happy, right? I have nothing against school. I love education. I just did not like school. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. The school structure was not, but the year behind and lots of sides to lots of stories, and prison. So, okay, stay. Hard Facts, 92.3 Nigeria Info. So before the break, I was speaking about students stranded. Students of Ignatius Ajuri University of Education expressed worrying over the picketing of the gates of the institution by protesting members of their host community. And of course, they spoke about the impact. So I will take my exams today. I've spent money getting here. 3,000 is quite something, right? And so, like I said, there would be many sides to this story. If you listen to the protesters, listen to the management of the institution, and everyone who's willing to speak, you will come up with a story for the ages, possibly. But my concern, now what you're about to hear is personal opinion and very likely personal bias. I have a problem with this institution because Ignatius Ajuri University, while this particular case might be a protest, and you say, well, it's not the school's fault, they consistently make the news for the wrong reasons. There are lots of things wrong with that institution. As an institution, I may not fault the quality of the education they give. And I say that because I think I've had a lecturer from that school join me on the show. And, well, he delivered. So, to that extent of my experience, I would say they have amazing teachers, or that person I spoke to is an amazing lecturer. But more often than is necessary, there have been complaints that border on administrative problems with this school. And I also say this because somebody I know personally enrolled in that institution for some degree, some course. And she said that it was the worst decision of her adult life. There were so many unnecessary problems that did not need to exist. So I'm not quite sure what the problem is administratively. But please, Ignatius, fix your house. We have an education crisis in this country. Getting quality education now is with connection. It's difficult. So the existing schools we have should really do as much as they can to deliver on excellence. And right now, it doesn't seem like you're doing that. Like I said, this case, which might be isolated, might not be your fault. But it's been your fault a lot of times. So do something. Well, moving from that to Atiku, who has offered Peter Obi a slot, if you may. Multiple reports suggest that the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has offered the 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi a vice presidential role in a joint single-term ticket. The proposal was first tabled during a private meeting between Atiku and Obi earlier this year in the UK. Atiku committed to serving a single 4-year term, after which he would hand over to Obi. The former Anambra State governor reportedly agreed in principle but requested time to consult with his loyalists before making a final decision. Lots of news platforms have taken this and they are very careful with their framing and phrasing. Some say reportedly, some say it is suggested, but lots of them are saying. Now, before I get into breaking it down and speaking English, I have 3 words. It won't work. It's not because I'm faithful or loyal to any party, but it doesn't make common sense. Here's the reason. Peter Obi was Atiku's running mate in 2019. Right? So they've been down this road before. My question as possibly a neutral observer, if I choose to be that, is what has changed between then and now? I have served in this capacity. It didn't work. Why would I want to go back? It's like if I leave Nigeria Info for what might seem like a better offer, or just leave somewhere under whatever condition. If I'm going to go back, whether I approach the organization or they approach me, the terms and conditions must be better. What has changed from the last time they had this particular alliance? Secondly, we understand the position of a running mate. We know that the candidate is the person who's voted for. The running mate is the running mate as chosen by the candidate. You're not voted for. Obi has tasted what it's like to be candidate. He did not win. Yes, Atiku didn't win as well. So giving him VP slot when he has his own supporters on his own party, a party that you could argue is a contender, on the basis of common sense, that doesn't make sense. It's like, and just think about it, the president of Nigeria, Tinubu, giving Atiku a VP slot in the next election. Atiku will very likely respond by saying, I have my own supporters, I have my party, and want to contest for the number 1 position. That's also what Peter Obi will very likely say. Because whether he wins the next election or not, this does not seem to be, it doesn't look or sound good. Because there's a better offer on the table of being president or vying for the number 1 position, which he has tried. He didn't make it. Atiku did not as well. So try again. Thirdly, again, this is my opinion. There is nothing in me that suggests, agrees, allows myself to come to terms with the idea that Atiku would want a single term ticket. Why? It's not about nobility. There's no need. If you win and you're the next president, the constitution allows you 2 terms. Why will you go for 1 term? And you want to use something like that to say, oh, don't worry, we'll just go for 1 term, you'll be VP and then we'll hand over to you. That doesn't work. It doesn't seem genuine. There aren't lots of people in this world that can pull off a Nelson Mandela and refuse to go for a 2nd term. Everybody is entitled to run after the 1st term. if you can win. So why would that offer even be on the table? If Obi becomes president, I'm sure he would go for a second term. So that alone already makes the offer seem suspicious. And finally, this is something a lot of Nigerian politicians do. When we are done, we will hand over to you. Power is not yours to give. If the constitution works well and the electoral process works well, it is the people that should vote for their leaders. So Atiku cannot possibly make a promise and say, be my VP for one term and when I'm done, I will hand over. It's not chieftains. It's not the monarchy. It's not the royal family where the father gives, the throne over to the son when he dies. People go to the polls to decide. Let's even assume that this works. If Atiku is done, maybe Obi might not be a popular candidate. Maybe he will not win an election. So that power is not yours to give. So on this basis, it does not seem like a good deal. And that's why Samuel Opportunity is saying that it will not work. But we're waiting for the Obi camp to respond. So we watch and we wait. I'll take one more headline and then open the phone lines. Herdsmen, bandits, and kidnappers were on rampage in different parts of the country over the weekend, killing no fewer than 33 persons in Benue, Imo, Kebbi, Ondo, and Kogi states. The report goes on to talk about, the scourge of killer herders and bandits. And just this weekend, according to Vanguard, 33 people were killed. There's another report that says 152 security operatives were killed in attacks by non-state actors across Nigeria between January 2 and May 13, 2025, with the actual number likely higher due to under-reporting. In the same period, over 4,700 civilians were killed and more than 3,700 abducted. This was made known in a report by Beacon Security and Intelligence Limited. Major incidents include deadly ambushes, suicide bombings, raids in Borno, Yobe, Enugu, and Anambra states. The sustained violence underscores severe security challenges facing both military personnel and civilians nationwide. The problem is that we have come to a point where we are now used to hearing these things and people have been reduced to numbers. I want you to zoom in on this. Right? Double click. 4,700 civilians between January and May in 5 months in a country where there is no war. Almost 5,000 people are killed in 5 months. And we are numb to it, not because we don't care, but these are the kinds of stories we hear every day. And because people are dynamic, when you're exposed to something long enough, you become used to it. It does not make sense. 3,700 abductions within that same time frame. That means you're looking at very close to 10,000 people affected by insecurity in 5 months. And officially, there is no war in that country. I'm not overselling it. I'm not exaggerating. We need a state of emergency on insecurity in this country. And even though it might not affect you today, I'm hoping it doesn't. But these are Nigerians affected within this country. So better needs to be done. The final headline is the president urging unity and diversity at the Pope's inauguration. Hopefully we get there at some point. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06416. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Nigeria InfoPH. You can watch, listen, and engage. Please turn off your radio as you call. Hello, Chinedu. Atiku's camp offering Mr. Peter Obi vice presidential seat. It is ridiculous and laughable. Between both, who should be the vice? In a free and fair election, Obi would floor Atiku hands down. Let Atiku go and rest. Okay, so I'm going to rephrase this by saying he has lost several elections. He should not infect Obi with the virus. Enoch from Ada George. Well, they both ran in the last elections, and I know that you might argue about the credibility, but according to that election, Atiku did better than Obi, even though they both did not win. So, they are both influential figures. They both have supporters. They are, to the best of my knowledge, both under very strong parties. So, may the best man win. Obed from Jerry. Hello, Obed. Obed, are you there?
Good afternoon, Mr. Tan.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tan.
All right, go ahead.
I think it's high time Atiku rest. You understand?
Why?
I think he has to rest. You understand? How will you come up with such a bogus offer that you cannot be able to even keep? You understand? So let him rest. And it's because of this is ambition that is causing division in PDP. I tell you for free. So let him go and rest and allow the younger generation to emerge. And as much as I believe that the Constitution gives him the right to contest, there is no age limit, but he must understand that the interest of this country should be put forward first. You understand? He's always coming out to contest. He has now become a serious contestant on the presidential ticket. Let him rest. On issue of killings, Mr. Tan, we are saying it to the president. Do you really, the life of Nigeria really matters to you? Because you hurriedly make a declaration in River State about state of emergency. Look at what is happening. Series of killings in the north, whereby military base, Boko Haram will dislodge them, adopt some officers, and take them into captive. Mr. Sam, I have one question to ask military officers, particularly those at the forefront fighting the need. You guys are in need that the government is not meeting up. Open up and tell Nigerians we are willing to hit the streets to force the hands of this wicked leader, to provide the needed equipment for you to purchase sophisticated arms to be able to dislodge these criminals and terrorists. This is getting out of hand. How can Boko Haram be taking upper hand on our military, which we believe is one of the strongest in West Africa? Mr. Sam, something has to be done immediately. Let the military open up and tell Nigerians.
Okay.
Let us protest.
Obed.
Because the last time we heard our military now uses armed drones. This is getting out of hand.
Obed, I was going to ask him a question. All right, thank you. Emeka from Elele, good afternoon.
Yes, I'm Onako. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I wonder what is happening in our military system. Do you know that Liberia, there was war in Liberia those days?
Please turn off your radio.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
In Liberia, Nigerian army stopped Liberia war. Are you aware? Nigeria army was the best army in the world in terms of land.
Emeka, please turn off your radio.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I could hear you the first time. I just need to hear you once.
So, I don't know what is happening now. I don't know what is... Boko Haram now is in charge of military. And the Nigerians are, federal government are not taking them serious. Because there is not any equipment. If they should bring money for arms, they would divide the money. They will not take it as a personal issue. Do you know that Boko Haram now is more equipped than army? They are teaching them up and down. They are teaching army now up and down in the northern part. There's a problem. Thank you, God bless you.
Thank you very much. Obina calls from Air Force. Hello, Obina. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I want to say something about Obi and Atiku. For Atiku making Obi his vice, for me, it's not welcome development. Because if that is the way they started, maybe Obi giving Atiku's vice, maybe they pass governor presidential election. No problem, because I know Obi is a good man. He will give good advice to Atiku. But same thing, he started as a president because he was a governor. So I believe he knows more about leadership. So it's better for Atiku to be his vice. If Atiku will want to be vice again, Understand? Because I know Obi have a different way of reasoning in terms of leadership, and it's okay. His reasoning is just like our governor Fubara here. He wants to carry everybody along. He don't want to say, you go your way, you go your way. You want to carry everybody along. If you really want to walk, you carry along. So Obi is okay to be the president, not vice. So that is my own take. God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. I don't think any of them should be either party's running mates. They should all run on their different platforms, the same way we had it in 2023. And may the best man win. Owenete West on WhatsApp says, good day, Mr. Sam Oracle, and welcome back. Thank you very much. Atiku's camp offering Peter Obi vice presidential slot, for me, is a good coalition. Let it be a coalition of the rest of Nigerians and coalition that will liberate Nigeria from economic hardship Nigerians are facing on a daily basis. 80% of Nigerians cannot afford 2 square meal, let alone 3 square meal. Owenete, I get your message. Majority of Nigerians, you mean? Whenever I hear stats, I'm always particular about source. All right? So let's say lots of Nigerians. You're not sure it's 80%. Good afternoon, Sam. What Atiku is doing is an abbreviation. I think you mean aberration. And it will not work. And another is, we cannot trust what Atiku is saying. Nigerians, we are wise. That's from Ipalibo Taylor Harry. Peter Obi should not destroy his political relevance by falling for the antics of Atiku. The obedient should be well positioned to take power come 2027. That's from Chinedu Sam. Dan calls from Omuma. Good afternoon, Dan.
Yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon.
Sam, Oracle.
Welcome.
Speaking with the only double header and the whole planet, double header Dan from Liberia.
Please go ahead.
I want to assure Atiku, offering Atiku and his group and all supporters, offering Peter Obi, vice president, free of charge in any political party or association. Anyone from west, east, and south that follow him as vice president will fall. Even 2 of them will fall together into unknown place. Away from there, I use this opportunity to beg every citizen of this country to condemn evil and protect life and property. We should not leave the protection of life and property on the hand of Tinubu. Yes, a weekend. Fubara, a bus. All the solar administration in Briamuma should protect our Mama people. How many a day in his administration that will protect 200 million persons? Let us help and fight crime in our various environments. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We have Lay Barry from Bori. Hello, Lay Barry.
Yeah. My brilliant brother, Sam, you're highly welcome, man.
Thank you very much. You're welcome as well.
I miss you. I come Lay Barry from Bori.
All right.
Oh, Nigeria Info jingle, every time you will hear, we need a marshal, we need a sheriff. And my question goes like this. In the issue regarding Borno State, is our president not a marshal? Is our senior president not a sheriff? The governor of Borno State was lamenting that one local government in Borno State, it comprises of 300 villages. Out of these 300, 299 has been taken over by the Boko Haram. And I need to ask, where is our constitution, section 305, to be invoked by our president? Somebody mentioned Nigeria armies went to Liberia and restored peace. Where are our Nigeria armies nowadays? Still on this Nigeria Info news, that some of the soldiers were killed and even captured some of their officers. Where are the chief of army staff? Can this happen in U.S.? Then every time we say we need peace in River State, was there any war or a situation like this? Lives of people have been wasted. And we are just shouting about 2027. 2027. Is that part of local government? Is it not part of this country? We are being threatened. We are not safe. Where are our sheriff? Where are our marshal?
All right.
I rest my case.
Thank you, Lebari. I was tempted to make a joke, but it would have been bad timing. JJ calls from Rumibo. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Sam, good afternoon and welcome back.
Thank you very much.
You know that song by Nas now? Welcome back, welcome back.
That's Maze, not
Let
Nas.
me go for the AA and Peter Obi.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
People say that if you don't know where the rain starts to beat you, you may not know where it stops. In the 2023 elections, because you asked me where did I get the statistics. The statistics, according to INEC, the Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu got 8.7 million votes, right? AA Atiku Abubakar got 6.9 votes. Peter Obi of the LP got 6.1 million votes. If you ask 6.1 and 6.9, please help me do the figure. 1 plus 9, that is 10. 6 plus 6, 12. Carry 1, that's 13 point something votes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They would have easily beaten 8.7 million votes. True or false?
Yeah, if you calculate it like
that's
that.
the calculation. Even though I'm not their supporter, I'm not a supporter of Atiku, I'm not also a supporter of Peter Obi. I think that is what Atiku is looking at to say. It's just like when we're in primary school or secondary school, when they say, if it takes 5 days for 5 men to clear 1 acre of land, and what will it take 2 men? Remember, we begin to do X and find Y. That's exactly what I think Atiku have solved. To say, look, Peter Obi, let me bring my 6.9, assuming, and also you bring your 6.1, let's use it to defeat the 8.7. How about that? To me, it's very good on paper, and I think they are good to go if they decide to come together with that assumption. Not also excluding that if Obi decide to run, some of the people who trusted him after 2023 may also not trust him, and some of the people who voted Atiku may also not vote him at the end of the day. I don't know why.
Okay.
But the killing of, I don't know if you have questions regarding that.
No, I don't.
Fine. But the killings, I don't know if those at the top are not hearing it, because we see videos and we see military formations being overrun by ragtag boys. It's not making any sense to me. All the shoppers, all the air flying here that they use to protect oil, what if they carry out to that area and protect life and property? What exactly do I know now? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. I'll be speaking with Robin in a couple of seconds. On Facebook, where we're live, Cosmos Onyeneke says Atiku and Obi will work. If both of them join together, they will defeat this Tinubu hardship government. Cosmos also says, Oracle, speak for yourself. It will work. Cosmos, thanks for listening to the show and sending your contributions, but knowledge and understanding is important. I said very clearly, this is my opinion, which automatically means I was speaking for myself. Thank you. And Robin calls from HA. Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Go ahead.
Please, I would like you to ask this question.
To who?
Help me ask Musa Christopher, and help me to ask the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where are the 12 Tucano jets? The Tucano jets that the former president Buhari usurped the National Assembly initially by withdrawing $1 billion, which they were told they spent about $600 million to acquire those Tucano jets. Where are the Tucano jets? Today, Musa Christopher is telling us we should fast and pray. That's what he said in church yesterday. Professor Zulu, the governor of Borno State, is crying and weeping, complaining. They Mr. President, who on no political disagreement in Rivers State declared state of emergency, hosted illegal government here, military government here, is not listening, is not hearing. Look at the number you are running out there. Oracle, you do not include the land grabbers, so the chief that are crying in the chain, including myself and my land, the graph here. We cannot go to farm.
Robin?
My own farm, my own land.
Robin?
And they are folding their hands.
I don't mean to interrupt you,
everywhere.
but I have to take a break.
Good afternoon, Oracle. God bless you and bless your station.
Thank you very much. God bless you too. After the break, I'll take messages on different platforms. Stay with us.
The show continues after this break.